A podcast is now streaming that explores the past, the present, and the future of the tri-state area.
Yeah, so here to tell us about it, we have Vanessa Hankins. Thanks for being here, Vanessa.
Thanks for having me. I'm always excited to be here.
Yeah, this is so funny. So when Vanessa reached out, she said, hey, we have this podcast. And I'm like, oh, what's it about? How fun is this?
Yeah,
so it's called Tri-State Time Machine.
Tri-State Time Machine, and I can't take credit for the name. The original host, W.G. Bunch, we lost him a few years ago, but he came up with the name based on the Huntington Tri-State, like when you fly into Huntington Airport, HTS, so Huntington Tri-State, and he originally called it Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, and I dropped the Huntington. But
Okay, just so you can kind of go a
just to be a little easier, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about it. What do you guys talk about?
The podcast, I mean, past, present, and future, of course, but we really dive in with documentary-style interviews and things like that, and it's so cool to hear our neighbors' stories of, you know, growing up in Huntington or their view of Huntington, because every single one of us, our walk of life is different. So it's really great to have these people on and share experiences from their first job at Geno's, you know, that picture was just up, or maybe their role in the court system in Cabell County, you know, whatever that looks like. So it's just a lot of fun.
I love that.
Sounds fun. And it's a very unique podcast.
It is. It's got a very niche, you know, group that listens. We're really grateful because we get the analytics back, and you know, we have listeners like in Sweden and like all like random places that I'm like, what in the world? But then when you get down to it, it's people that have lived in Huntington before who have moved away,
have a connection,
and they want to have that connection to what's still going on in Huntington.
See,
so it's really cool.
You see that a lot on social media, Facebook. So this is kind of just telling the stories.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about the tri-state area and this, you know, rich source of stories that is just so fluid.
We have such a diverse community, and we have, you know, cultural aspect of different people that are here. So to share those stories with our listeners, I think it's broadened the horizons or the mindset of a lot of people, because, you know, West Virginia kind of gets the bad rep. We're the rednecks. We're the, you know, we're the rough and tough people, but we're not. We're educated. We're doing big things. We are so much more. We're resilient. We're doing phenomenal things, and we just want the community to know about these phenomenal things that are going on right here in our backyard. So, yeah.
Any favorite moments, surprises, or anything really funny?
You know, I think my favorite episode will be the very first one that I was ever on. This was before I was a host and everything else. WG had reached out to myself and Hank Dial, who was city manager at the time, and he said, you know, come on and talk about Safety Town, because he calls me the Safety Town Queen. So he's like, come and talk about Safety Town. And I'm like, of course, I can talk about Safety Town until I'm blue in the face. So we go on, and we end up telling stories about being in the trunk of the car, going to the drive-in movies to sneak in so you didn't have to pay for your friend, you know? I mean, it was ridiculous, the stuff that we got into, and we talked about a time that Hank had pulled over WG in town, not realizing that it was him.
As a police officer.
As a police officer. So it was, we laughed so much and made so many memories, and that was the start of a beautiful friendship that WG and I started. So I think that's my favorite one.
I do love that. And you know, that's the thing, like, so Vanessa does work at Safety Town. That's her kind of day job. So this is kind of your side gig. But one of the things about Huntington is Safety Town, and I never got to experience it. And then my little girl didn't get to because of COVID. So I was like all excited to hear about it, and I was like, those kind of stories.
You have to bring her down.
Love Safety Town.
She can still visit, even though she's older.
Small.
I remember, it's been around so long, when I was a little kid, I remember visiting Safety Town with Milton Elementary. Came for a field trip.
And you know, we still have all of Cabell County, all of Wayne County, second grade.
I love it.
And we do it every day, and it's
that's
so fun.
The stories that people talk about from Huntington.
It really is. It really is. Everyone keeps asking for another Safety Town episode, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess if you guys want to hear about it some more, I think we can do it.
I think that's a good idea.
I think you should. So how can we follow along if someone now is thinking, I got to tune into this?
Yeah, so we're on all social media, so you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook's the main place that you can find us with a link to our episodes, but you can also find us on any streaming apps that are out there, Spotify, Apple Music, you know, any of those. But we're right there, Tri-State Time Machine, easy to find, and we're getting ready to celebrate our 100th episode, so I hope people tune in.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I will add in today, we released our Cannon Park episode, and it was with Clinton Burley. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but he is a phenomenal human, and his dad was a manager of Cannon Park for most of his childhood. So the stories that he in the episode that we released today are like, I mean, I was like a little kid in a candy store. I was just like, I was forgetting that I was the host. I'm sitting there like eating it up. You know?
I would too.
Yeah, it's such a good episode. So if you listen to Annie, listen to the Camden Park episode.
Is that
it's a good
100th?
one. It is not the 100th. Yeah, we've got a few weeks before we release it, but yeah,
it's so exciting.
I think the Camden Park one will do well too.
I think so too. I think so.
And that's all your information right there. So Facebook, Tri-State Time Machine, and then you can search them on all the podcast apps to find it. Well, this has been so fun, Vanessa. I know everyone's going to be tuning in to stream your podcast because it just kind of takes you back in time.
It really does. It's nice to reminisce and feel like the old world is still part of what we're doing today. So
well, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
You and your whole crew.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vanessa.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys.